and we climbed rocks, and we climbed trails and went up to the top of the waterfalls, and she kissed a frog, and I got a picture of it. And yeah, it was, we did these things that were, nobody my age was going to do. Forget it. They didn't have the stamina. In fact, when I was married to Susie, and she's 13 years younger than I am, I was still more physically fit. I ran up Diamond Head, I think it is. One of them has a lot of steps going up, and we'd gone to Hawaii, and I raced her, Susie, and Gillian, who was my stepdaughter, who obviously much younger, raced them to the top. They couldn't race to the top, forget it. And I ran up to the top and ran back down again. So I've always prided myself with that strength, and that's why I was able to that's why I enjoyed heavy labor so much, because even though I looked like the guys in the foundry, the skinny Mexican guys in the foundry who didn't weigh any more than I did. I mean, we weighed the same, and they could do these physical things, and I could do them too. I mean, obviously I was throwing around bags of seed that weighed over 100 pounds, so. I've been torn, and maybe we'll get into this later. I've been torn all my life between the mental, Mensa obviously, the mental side of me, the rational side of me, and sometimes the irrational side of me, but still coming out of some sort of rationality. And on the other side was the physical person, the person who wanted to work in the foundry, who wanted to work initially in that adhesive plant and do the hardest, most dangerous job there was. I had to do those things because that was part of who I am, and that's why I would do things like when I was in Europe and the tram takes you up to the top of the mountain in Switzerland. Forget that. I packed a lunch of a sandwich and a bottle of wine and some cheese, and I walked up. I climbed the mountain, and the trams are going over me, and I'm waving at them, and they're looking at me like, "Who's this crazy guy?" And because it had to be that physical for me. I do spelunking. Susie and I have been into caves, but Paulette and I have also been in caves, and Paulette and I went with my son, with Evan, when we were still on good terms, and we went into caves that didn't have any lights and that had these big chasms that you could fall into if you weren't careful, and also had these curvy tunnels that you had to go through like a chimney, but they curved and they got very close, and I'm claustrophobic. And I had to get myself through that to get into the other side of the cave, which was Cleopatra's Tomb, it was called, so that I could walk back out again. And I always, I fought that stuff. I'm acrophobic. And I took my friend up to the top of the parachute jump in Coney Island, and then we got stuck up there. And he's acrophobic too. So here's the two of us acrophobic. But I don't care. Okay, so what? I'm afraid of heights. Big deal. I'm up here, look around, see what you can see. And so that's what I did. And believe me, it's very difficult for me to get near a railing of a tall building. But planes didn't bother me. And I even went so far as to get almost get the ticket that would make me a legitimate pilot. I did everything. I did my 20 hours and all I had to do was one solo flight, and I quit. Because in the plane, I was okay, and there was somebody there with me. But when that other person was not there, and I was the only one in the plane, then I got scared. So I said, look, I know I'm going to get scared. I'm not going to do this. So I never did get the ticket, but I do have the book somewhere around here that shows that I did my 20 hours, and I did my takeoffs and landings and all the rest of that kind of stuff that you have to do, and the schoolwork too. So those are the parts.
We've got about 15 minutes. I don't want you to.
Oh, okay.
I want you to know you got 15 minutes.
All right.
And we're going to have to race out of here.
Yeah, well, if you want to call it now,
Well, I think you have some things that you might want to say.
you are coming back.
If we can, we will try our best to get back down here, right? You know, I don't know how quickly we're gonna back down here. It's the only problem.
I might be dead.
I know. I'll get back as quick as I can.
Okay.
I've got so many things scheduled.
Yeah. No, that's I understand, and it's just that I looked upon this as a chance to tell a few of the
You were the
stories.
second longest video we've done in 350 videos. We had one guy who went 3 hours and
10 minutes, you told me.
15 minutes.
15 minutes? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what.
Jim Hawthorne. Did you ever hear Jim Hawthorne on the radio down here? He was on the radio in the 50s, 60s, and 70s down here.
I didn't get here until the 70s.
Yeah.
No. So, yeah, I mean, just in 15 minutes, I'm going to go through some things really fast. Okay. I didn't become an artist. I became an artist when I did that, but then I didn't do any art at all for the longest time. But I did collect art here and there, and then I went to art school, and then I started going to the galleries in Bergamot Station, and I have bought enough art from those people that they know me. That the reason I have the Laddie Dill is because I know the gallery owner. He was running an auction. It didn't go at the auction. He called up the people who wanted to, gave it to him on consignment. He says, "What's the least you'll take for this?" And they named the price, and he named the price to me, and of course I'll take it, because I mean, it was up for auction starting at 2000, and it really is an exceptional piece because it was done in 1983, and he's been doing the same kind of stuff ever since. And so that's a very important piece to anybody who collects Laddie Dill. And so I bought those things. I bought this. That's a Frank Romero. Fear No Art is, maybe I'll wear that T-shirt the next time. I have stuff in the other room, but for me personally, I did this. I did this flag here. I did this, those over there, all of that stuff. The little man sitting in there, made out of a piece of wood and some nails. I did that. I made that toy for my children when we were on the road, because we didn't have a hell of a lot of toys and a lot of room. We were in this little van, you know, that thing. So I made that, you know, and I still have it from then. And David's going to get it because he wants it, you know. And I made the charcoal of the black and white and gray. I did that. I did the art thing. I did Shalom up there. I have a whole series of these flags. They're sponges from surgery, and I used them to wipe my brush on, to wipe my hands on, whatever. And I have a whole bunch of them, and I had them strung up all the way. I'll probably put them back up again because I've had stuff that I've had to give away.